As a little boy in the early 1980s, Vietnam wasn't something I learned about. It was something I grew up around. You could see it in our dads, our uncles, in the way they carried themselves. Or didn't. Only we didn't have the language for that yet. All we had was Rambo and the A-Team. But those stories didn't match what was sitting right in front of us. So we ran through the woods, playing Vietnam like it was a game, not understanding what it actually was. Because by the early 1980s, Vietnam hadn't gone anywhere. It was still here, in living rooms, at kitchen tables, and in silence. And sometimes, it was in the stories that people wouldn't tell. Today's story is one of those. March 16th, 1968, a place called My Lai, a small hamlet in South Vietnam. The soldiers moving in that morning thought they were walking into a fight. They'd been told the village was a Viet Cong stronghold, that enemy fighters were there waiting. And on the way in, they'd already taken losses. Not from soldiers, from the land itself. Booby traps, hidden explosives, punji stakes, tripwires. Weapons designed to wound, to slow, and to make every step feel like a gamble. The name, booby trap, almost sounds harmless. It's not. The term comes from the Spanish word bobo, meaning fool. A trap designed to make a fool out of you. And in Vietnam, they were everywhere. By the time they reached the village, they were already on edge. Frustrated, angry, expecting a fight. But when they got there were no enemy soldiers waiting. No gunfire, no resistance. No one shooting back, just villagers. Old men, women, children. People cooking, people cleaning. People trying to live their lives. Confused, terrified. And the soldiers, still moving like the fight was coming. Still expecting it, still waiting for it. But it never comes. There were no orders shouted, no enemy revealed, just confusion, and something building underneath it. And what happens next isn't combat. And when that structure breaks down, people start making decisions they've never had to make before. Orders blur. Lines disappear. And the machine, the thing that's supposed to hold it all together, doesn't always hold. And then, something happens that doesn't fit the story. Because in the middle of all this, while everything is moving in one direction, one man goes the other way. His name was Hugh Thompson Jr., a helicopter pilot, flying low over the village that morning. At first, what he sees doesn't make sense. Bodies, but no battle. People running, but no enemy chasing them. Smoke rising from homes, not gunfire. And then it clicks. This isn't a firefight. This is something else. Rarely in history does one person draw a line and force everyone else to see it. And then, he sees them. A little girl, huddled with her younger siblings, next to a well, holding each other, trying to disappear. And then, he sees a soldier, a brother in arms, pulls the pin, throws it. That's when he moves. No hesitation, no circling. He brings the helicopter down, right there, between them. Dust kicks up, blades chopping the air. Chaos on the ground. And now, something new in the middle of it. He steps out, looks at the soldiers, looks at the villagers. And in that moment, he makes a decision. He turns to his crew, tells them, if the soldiers open fire, they open fire back. Other American soldiers. Because now, this isn't just disobedience. This is a line. Thompson starts moving the villagers, pulling them out, getting them to safety, calling in other helicopters, evacuating survivors. Not fighting the enemy, but stopping his own side. And somewhere in that chaos, something shifts. Not everywhere, not all at once, but right there. In that moment, the killing slows. Because one man decided that it had to stop. And when it was over, the story didn't spread. It disappeared. Reports were written, numbers were given, language was chosen carefully. A victory. Enemy killed. Mission complete. That's how it was recorded. But that's not what happened. Because what happened in My Lai wasn't a battle. It was a massacre. And the people who knew that had a decision to make. Stay quiet. Move on. Let it become just another report. Or say something. And risk everything that came with it. Because speaking up didn't just mean challenging a decision. It meant challenging the story. The one being written. The one being sent up the chain. The one that would become history. And once that story is set, it's hard to undo. Careers are on the line. Reputations. The image of the war itself. So the easiest thing to do is nothing. And for a while, that's exactly what happens. Until someone decides that they can't live with it. His name was Ronald Ridenhour. He wasn't there that day, but he heard the stories from the men who were. At first, it sounds like something you don't want to believe. Something exaggerated. Something distorted by memory. But the more he listens, the more it lines up. Same details, same patterns, same silence around it. And eventually, he understands something. This isn't a rumor. This is real. So he does something simple and dangerous. He writes letters to Congress, to the Pentagon, to anyone who might listen. Not accusations, not speeches, just questions, carefully laid out, step by step. What happened in My Lai? Who gave the orders? Who knew? And why wasn't anyone talking about it? At first, nothing happened. The letters sat, ignored, passed over, filed away. But they didn't disappear. Because once something like that is written down, it exists. And eventually, someone reads it. And once they do, it becomes harder to ignore. The story starts moving. Slowly. Then all at once. And when the story finally came out, it shocked the country. Investigations, trials, headlines. A moment where people were forced to look at something they didn't want to see. And for a while, it felt like maybe that line had held. But time has a way of shortening things. Turning events into stories. Stories into lessons. Lessons into something distant. Something that happened back then. But My Lai isn't just about what happened in 1968. It's about what happens when the structure breaks. When the pressure builds. When the line disappears. And what it takes for someone to draw it again. Because on that day, one man did. And another made sure that the world couldn't look away. And maybe that's the part we're supposed to remember. Not just what happened, but how close it came to never being told at all. And maybe that's why years later, we could feel it before we ever understood it. If you're still here, thank you. I'm really enjoying researching and telling these stories, and I hope you're enjoying hearing them. I've got lots more like this that they didn't teach us in school. So hope to see you back next week. Until then, my name's David, and this has been the Underground Syllabus.